Welcome to Primo RV Centre and a brand new unit that is going to be a standard and probably one of the most popular models in the Coachmen Remote series. So Ultralite series that was born from the Apex Nano series. So it's a slightly narrower version of many of the floor plans and some similarities. This is really a brand new model, not something that Apex ever offered before. We were lucky enough last year to have the prototype, and the number of inquiries we had, it was an absolute hit. They were still refining it, and then finally late this fall, they came into their final form and with some suggestions from us and others. And we've got just a wonderful unit here. Normally I'd start on the inside, but I just want to give you context here on the size. So this comes in at under 18 feet tip to tail, so roughly about 14 feet for that body. And it just does wonderful things here. For someone who's a bit taller, where maybe a teardrop, really isn't going to cut it, you're going to appreciate what they've done here. So they've given you a lot on the outside to work with. The big thing here is they were able to take out even more weight, but still give you tons of features here. So this comes in just a hair over 2,700 pounds, about 2,717. I can tell you that last year's model was over 28, and the couple that was towing this was using a Subaru Outback. So if you have anything in that 3,500 pound rated tow vehicle and up, this is an ideal candidate that can do an awful lot for you, that you could definitely put on any site traditionally that maybe you've enjoyed tent camping on. So it's really going to be roughly the same footprint. So it's going to allow you to open up all kinds of sites, waterfront sites. So it's a really versatile unit that a lot of people can tow. And for that reason, we know for ourselves it's going to be quite popular, and I have a feeling it's going to be one where we're going to have a hard time keeping up with that demand. So definitely, if it's something of interest, reach out. Let us know. We'll try to get you into it so you can see it. We already have folks coming in. It's just arrived, and tomorrow we'll have people in it already that have been waiting. So a lot of interest on this one. So up front, they've stayed with their traditional cap with a really nice porthole style window. You'll see what that'll do. It really makes it feel bigger on the inside. And they've got two big LED lights within the cap that really help to give you all the light you need when you're coming in at night, hooking and unhooking. So we'll come with one 20-pound tank here in the front. We've just removed it for now. Traditional jack, and then you've got lots of room for multiple batteries here. And why that matters is on the roof, you'll have 200 watts of standard solar. So that is even upgradable should you wish, but you shouldn't really need any more than that on a small coach like this. And if you do, we can always help set you up with a ground panel that you can move around and kind of follow the sun. You've got a nice high-rise stone guard here. So again, if you want to really get out there, lots of protection up front. You do have a battery cutoff switch down there as well. So very handy with the solar, because if you're putting it in storage, when you come back, everything's going to be charged and ready for that journey. So as we come around the side here, we're going to have 4 oversized jacks. So when these are down, especially with the stairs already being anchored to the ground with the more ride steps, you're going to find this really is rock solid when you've dialed it in and leveled it out. You've got just amazing storage for a small coach. So massive front compartment. You can see the aluminum superstructure there that really helps to reduce the weight. That's our charge controller on the side, sized for, again, more than the 200 watt panel. And then we've got our switch there for the front lights. So just a ton of space to be able to keep the chairs, the tables, those kind of things you're going to bring with you. You'll see here in just a second, it does come with a griddle as well, so lots of storage for that too. Absolutely love the fact that on a small coach like this, they've maxed out the awning. So you've got your awning coming right up against that front compartment, and it goes right to the very back corner. So they've given you all the awning they could. And again, being a powered awning, nice and easy if you're just stopping for lunch, quick rest somewhere, want to pull out the chairs and relax in the shade. Nice and easy to do that in seconds. Out that awning comes. You're going to be able to pull that out a full 8 feet. We're only about a third the way out here right now. We've got that LED strip light running the full length. So you've got all the lights outside you would need, but you still do have a plug in there should you have power on site, and you can certainly use that as well. You've got some great aluminum rims there, so it helps keep down the maintenance. And then massive windows. So a lot of times when you get into a small trailer, A, manufacturers will take out window for costs, but B, those windows are quite small. So you just don't get that much ventilation. Here, really well set up for that ventilation. You've got corresponding windows on either side of the same size. So if you're looking to be off-grid and not necessarily around people, wonderful coach here to do that. So you don't necessarily have to rely on AC, because you do have a lot of light, but you also have a lot of windows you can open, and you're going to get that cross ventilation throughout. You'll see as well, we've got a great fan here in the center. So as I mentioned, we've got the more ride steady steps, so you can really dial in the feet. It anchors to the ground. So you've got uneven terrain, you're going to be able to level out those steps. Lots of grip in the rain as well, something people appreciate. And then you have that handle so that you can see what you're doing. And at night, you've got a great little night light here, so you can really see what you're doing. without having to add any more lights. As I mentioned, great griddle, love where they put it, kind of on the side out of the way. So underneath your awning can really be your living area, and then your cooking area can kind of be off the back. And we've already got the griddle as well as a rail to mount it to. And then we've got our LP gas quick connect hookup, so that could be for the griddle, could be for a barbecue you choose to add, any appliance, even a fire pit, especially if there's a fire band, very handy. You can typically still use those. We've got that same tried and true Asdel backer to the fiberglass you're going to see throughout the Remote and Apex and several lines from Coachmen, which really makes all the difference. We only carry fiberglass units that are backed by a composite like Asdel, simply because we see the difference on the maintenance side and kind of how they age year over year. So certainly a great investment in a small trailer. You know it's going to last. And then if you do the basic maintenance, you've really got something that you can tow, again, with a wide variety of vehicles if you ever want to downsize, and something that's going to last. We've got our backup camera prep, so should you wish to add one at any point, being a little shorter trailer, a little easier to get in those tight spots anyways. As we come around the backside, I really love the fact that they've really included a lot of the features here that you're going to find on their bigger trailers. So we do have an outside shower here, so hot and cold water, and especially if you're off-grid and maybe not around people, very handy. So you can set up even a little outside shower stall. Lots of length to the hose as well. Easy access, and you've got a good height here off the ground, so you're not going to ground out on any of the plumbing, and you're going to have good flow when you go to use that black and gray valves, which are right there for you. We've got 30 amp service coming in, but if you're not using AC, you can dumb that down to 15 or 20. We've got our satellite and cable in, should you either want to bring a dish. And we'll touch on satellite a little bit more here in a second. We've got our water fill in, should you have water on site. If not, we're going to have a water tank fill up front. Black tank flush when you're at the dump station. If they have fresh water, you can rinse out the black tank, clean those sensors. We do have an on-demand hot water tank here, so nice thing is you can, especially if you have water on site, you can really have as many showers for as long as you wish. So nice and easy to quickly fire that up. You're going to have hot water fairly instantly. We've got a great big dump valve here, so it's nice and easy to be able to pull that. I should mention underneath, a little easier to see from the other side, but we do have a spare tire. It is located underneath here, so they've just tucked it away, a little easier to see from the other side, but I don't want to forget to mention that it is there. And then we've got our easy water fill here. Something they brought from the Apex series here is they have an in-port, because they've had so much demand, for something like Starlink or another satellite internet service. So should you want to work from the road or need to, or you name it, or in the future, kind of future upgradability, the nice thing is they've already put that input in there. There's a connection for it, so it is ready to go. So it just gives you some future upgradability from that kind of work and keeping in touch with people. And again, just being out there longer, enjoying some big adventures, hopefully some grand adventures. I'm going to take you inside here. I love the rear entry here. It really does help to, again, make this very easy to use on the road. So I love the fact you've got your fridge right by the door. So if you're stopping for groceries or just want to grab a snack, you don't even really have to go in the coach. Nice and easy to get to. That'll be a 12-volt fridge that can run off either one or multiple batteries, and we can help you kind of make those choices depending on the scenario that you're into. Again, we can help on the extra solar side, upgrading those batteries either to 6 volt or lithium. Your converter here, you'll see a little sticker on the front of it. That tells you that it is ready for lithium, so it's ready either in the future or right away if you're looking to be off-grid for an extended period of time. Again, being a rear entry, you've got that bathroom right by the back door. So again, if you just want to pop in and be able to use the bathroom, super convenient on the road. Again, you've got easy access to the toilet, shower, great skylight in here, nice and bright. Place to keep all the basics in the first aid kit. You do have a small fan in here to help rid yourself of the humidity. But you're also going to have a secondary fan here in a second, we'll see. We do have a plug-in in there as well. As we come out of the bathroom, nice thing is they haven't forgotten those that do enjoy, watching a movie at night. Should you want to wall mount a TV, it's all set up for you. We can help you with that with either the TV or just the rail, you name it. So you'll see a backer there so you know where it goes. We've got our ignition for our propane furnace. So again, that'll use a little bit of power. So that solar is very handy. So make sure when you come back in that you are ready to go. Right by the door here, our switch for our awning, our interior light switch, our exterior light switch, and then we've got a Bluetooth speaker here, so that's something we can take inside or out. So give us some, again, music that we can connect to a phone or device that we bring with us. LED lights throughout, so very bright, and when you combine that with all the windows, really makes this feel much bigger than it actually is. And people do appreciate the height, especially if they're maybe coming from something like a teardrop, or if that was something they were looking at. Here you kind of don't lose the storage all the way to the top. That's kind of the advantage of something of this height. But with the amount of aluminum they've used in the structure, not really heavier than any or a lot of the teardrops are in the exact same size range. So but you still get great features here. You do have a secondary bed, so should you have a guest once in a while, you can pop that down. Cushions go in the middle, nice and easy to set up. And then we've got our main bed here just at the front for 1 or 2 people. Love the fact they've continued the roller shades here. It's a really high-end shade coming from that Apex group. We've got great storage here in the kitchen, so pots and pan storage, lots of room for all the cutlery. Our furnace is nice and centrally located, so if you're in a colder weather, it's going to be right near the bed, so it's going to keep you nice and warm. Get that big window I was mentioning with that cross flow here, and if you're off grid, that pays huge dividends. You can also obviously keep that back door open with the screen, so all is going to help to keep you cool. Lots of room for the dishes up top. And then we've got a great little sink here and lots of space on the counter here to be able to use it. Nice thing is with the inset 2-burner stove, again, that can be prep space if you're just not cooking in here, which most of our customers do not, so they will do that outside typically. Great little microwave here as well. Let's take a seat here, give you a little bit of different angle here. So easy ignition. You've got a couple of lights on here as well, so you'll turn that on and off. So something you can certainly use for storage as well. You'll notice inside here, also going to have the air fryer. So it's an air fryer as well as convection. So if you are plugged in, and should you want to do something a little bit more exotic in your cooking than maybe grilling outside, that's going to give you the option to do that. We do have connections here for plug-ins, so whether that be a computer, perhaps working here at the dinette or just in bed, certainly you can plug in and charge. And then we do have an emergency exit window here for if there's any reason why you couldn't get out that back door. You have a secondary exit here, so you always have a safe spot to be able to get out. We do have our AC unit on board as well, so if you do have 30 amp service, or say you're running a generator or a solar generator, again, that would allow you to run that if you weren't necessarily always in a campground. Again, we've got shades on those windows, shades on the front window as well, so it's not something where you're going to have that sun come in your eyes all the time. We do have another plug-in here as well, which is very usable in the kitchen area. So again, all the storage you need, something that you don't have to set anything up. It's not a Murphy bed, it's a set bed. But again, the number of vehicles that it's going to be able to allow to camp. So something like a RAV4, which in North America is one of the most popular vehicles out there. A couple different ratings in the RAV4, but if you have that 3,500 pound rating, this is a wonderful little coach to take on. Again, a lot of times it's just going to be 2-3 hour trips for a lot of our couples, maybe going to, provincial and state parks. Well, this would be a wonderful unit to do that in because there's not really any compromises. You're getting kind of the best of a lot of the bigger units and all the usability outside. So we would definitely suggest if this is of interest, we have a suspicion that this is going to be one where we're not going to be able to get enough to meet that demand. And certainly we do find that as the season starts, especially spring, and a lot of the manufacturers' order books get full, they do start to raise prices. So certainly those who are looking early, you'll definitely save. So certainly reach out to us here at Primo RV Centre if there's 14 hours of interest, and we'll be happy to get you more details.